Time keeps flying by, right? In case you're on the fence about unschooling or you're just not making time to learn more about how to really do unschooling over there at your house, I want to give you a gentle reminder. Time is ticking along and it's not going to slow down for you to get all your ducks in a row. These kids, you keep feeding them and they keep growing. They need you to make a decision, though, if you haven't already, and they need you to get confident in that decision. I have all sorts of tools, paid and free, like this podcast, to help you figure out your next steps. But you have to push past the inertia and take action. I get it. It's hard, but it's worth it. Today, I want to share a few celebrations we're having here, as well as let you know about some cool things happening this month. So stay with me. I'm really so glad we've connected here on the Unschooling Mom to Mom podcast. I love that we can talk weekly or almost weekly. If you're new to the podcast, welcome. Let me know in the comments where you are in this unschooling journey, just starting out and feeling a little overwhelmed, or maybe you've been at this for a while and just popped the podcast into your ears for a little reassurance. I'm happy to be here, no matter where you are on this path. And if you would be so kind as to leave a review or a few stars, that would be great. It'll help others looking for alternatives to the educational choices they've been using. It will help us all find each other because that's my main goal. I want parents like you to know that you do have options. You don't have to duplicate the school approach, and you won't ruin your kids' chances for success. They'll get into college if they need it or want it. They'll find the career that fits them. They'll figure out what they need because you will have given them the tools they really need to know who they are. You will have helped them identify their strengths and now how to manage their weaknesses, how to live comfortably in their own skin, because that is what you'll have time to do instead of memorizing times tables or state capitals or the periodic table. When you unschool, the things that matter can shift to fit the people involved. If you have a budding engineer and they're building ramps or structures online or in the living room, you can get supplies for that. If your kids are immersed in pretend play and you have no idea where that might lead, but I promise you, their brains are working on something. Interpersonal skills, scripts, vocabulary, fashion, design, story and character development, or maybe a little of all of that. The brain is really incredible. It seeks out what it needs. It's just up to you to give them space and tools to explore with. Even if you can't see the exploration, the more you learn about unschooling, the more you'll know that it's happening with or without you. Better if you're tuned in and offer a scaffolding of some sort, but the learner really runs the show and does it well if you'll trust them. While the kids may be happily puttering around with their interests, it's not unusual for the parents to feel a little uneasy. After all, this isn't how most of us were raised, right? To let the direction emerge from the learner instead of being top-down, teacher-driven. That's quite a shift. And that's why I have so many ways for you to get more information and support. Did you know that the Unschooling Mom to Mom Facebook group just had its 10-year anniversary? I should have planned a party. We're less than 1,000 people away from hitting the 50,000 members mark. So if you're not in there, you should join us. I don't run it in the typical Facebook way. The group itself has morphed several times, and I had to get us away from the free-for-all it had become. But 10 years ago, I knew we needed a place parents could get solid unschooling information without scaring them away from the idea. Regular people, tired of the school approach, were often completely unaware that they had options. My personal goal was to help create a place where suburban moms like me could ask questions and gain confidence. Unschooling had worked for my family, and I knew it could work for others too. Back then, though, parents were often confronted harshly online when they had questions or hesitations about unschooling. The information was available, but it wasn't that easy to dip your toes into these waters. Several unschooling moms like me decided to create a kinder, gentler way to help parents. And here I am, still doing it. Every time I thought about walking away from it, like most of those who began it with me did, someone would mention how grateful they were to have had the help and to have had my voice in their ears or my words on their screen, reminding them that unschooling works and that they can do it. Then, as time marched on, I guess that really is the theme of this podcast, we added the YouTube channel and this podcast and courses and guides and ebooks and the membership, everything that you might need to be successful because parents all learn differently too. So each year I'd add something new to help in another way. 10 years and unschooling mom to mom just keeps growing. Wow. Another milestone happened too. The Unschooling Mom to Mom podcast has crossed the 300,000 download mark. So that's pretty awesome to know that so many people are interested in this unconventional approach to learning. I remember when I first started the Unschooling Mom to Mom Facebook page, and that was even a few years before the group. One of the taglines was changing the world one family at a time. I still feel that way. So, what's ahead? This month, I'm going to do another webinar, my annual Not Back to School party for you all. It's going to be August 22nd at 2 p.m. Get on my email list so you'll be sure to get notifications about it. I may do it as a live YouTube video, but I'm not sure if I can pull that off. The email list is the best way for us to connect. And I have so much news for you in this episode. I'm going to host something I've never done before, a 10-day pop-up group on Facebook the week after the webinar, Unschooling 101. Things like setting up your home for all this, getting an unschooling parent supply list, dismantling your own thoughts about school, 10 days of everything you need to get started unschooling. And we'll do it together. A pop-up Facebook group will allow you to connect with other new unschoolers and ask questions, and I'll be in there with you. I'll have more info on the email list, so look in the show notes for how to sign up for that if you're not already. It's free, and I often have special deals for subscribers. So thanks for being here and celebrating all these things with me. Share it with someone else who might need a little more unschooling support. And hopefully I'll actually see you at the Not Back to School party this month. Happy unschooling, have fun with the kids, and I'll be back again next week.